You're listening to the Trim Radio Network. We cut the bull and serve the truth.
Sunshine State, broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show, Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning. It is the Fishing in Florida Show, and it is a beautiful morning here in South Florida. My goodness. And this morning I have Carolyn. Carolyn's with Atlas Trax. I'm trying to wake up here. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Riscala. It's a gorgeous day out here in South Florida.
I guess you have the cam on and you can see the beach.
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing to do. It is so flat, mirror calm. You can see the swirls of paddle boarders. There's dive folks out there that are diving. It is amazing. It's like a mirror. I
used to love to be out on the ocean on days like today. Sometimes it's not that great for fishing, but boy, I'll tell you what, for relaxation, it's you can't beat it. You get out there and it's almost like being in a what is it, like a hammock. You know, when you're sitting in a hammock with a gentle swing back and forth. When you're out there and it's like that, you get this just like a very gentle rocking action, and it's almost putting me to sleep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. Yep. And I could tell you it's lobster mini season here in South Florida, which for our listeners means for 3 days, recreational folks with a dive license can go out and catch lobster, and then the season opens up for the commercial. I could tell you right now there are 3 groups of people out there swimming off the beach with a dive flag that are actually actively looking for lobster right now, about 50 feet offshore. So, boy, is it a good lobster nacho time.
Wow. Well, we're looking at, let's take a look at the tides. What's happening today for the tides? We've got high tide happened at 3:02 this morning. Low tide will happen at 9:20 this morning. High tide will happen at 3:52. And then the final low tide will happen at 10:04 tonight. The beach conditions are about perfect. The only thing you need to worry about is some of the rocks. Some of the beaches have rocks, so just be aware of that. There doesn't seem to be any warnings about rip currents. There doesn't seem to be any warnings about man o' war or any of the other stuff. So it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. Go fishing, go to the beach. Gorgeous day to be out there and enjoy the sunshine. So did you get to do any fishing this last week?
As a matter of fact, I did. I was lucky enough to go out on the Real Captivating, which is a 62-foot Viking. We were targeting blue marlin, which is extremely unusual in Palm Beach. But the owner had a pop-up tournament. Mike Simcoe, who's always on our show, is in the same fishing club. We didn't catch any marlin, but the fun part was catching the bait. We were catching live bonita to use as bait, which for our listeners are about a foot and a half long. And what they do is they put them in these PVC tubes upside down with water flowing through them and basically keep them on the boat as live bait. And then we use those as live bait. So the fun part was catching the actual bait part of it. We got about 21 of those and kept them live in the boat, which is very unique. I've never done that before.
So now, wait a minute. You described something about a PVC tube upside down. Say that again?
Yeah, so imagine 10 big PVC tubes that are about 7 inches round in diameter, and they put them in the live well. So they're standing vertically. And then what they do is they catch the live bait, they put it head first vertically into these tubes where they're continually being flushed with water, and you literally see their tails sticking out of the top of these tubes. And when they're ready for bait, they grab it by its tail, they put a hook right through its head, and they throw it overboard for a marlin. So the marlin needs those baits that are pretty big. And just catching those 20 bait was pretty exhausting because they fight pretty well. It's a small baby tuna, basically. Mm-hmm. And they use those as live bait. I
have never heard of somebody doing what you're doing with the with the tubes like that, with the putting them in there upside down. But it seems like a great idea. Just reach in there, grab them, put them on the hook, and go, instead of having to find a net or chase them around in a bait box.
Well, they're so big, you can't really put them in the live well. If you can imagine like a organ, the pipes on an organ in a church, that's and they were vertically. So really, you can only fit about 10 at a time vertically in the back of the boat. But it was very interesting, and catching the bait was fun because they were trolling with nice feathered rigs, and you could hook up to one or two and have to fight them for a little bit, almost even back down on them. So They were really fun. Catching the bait was the fun part. And when you ran out, you just would go back and find 10 more.
See, that's kind of like what I used to do when I was a kid. We'd go down to the canal, and one of the things all I would take with me is a tackle box, a fishing rod, and a pail to put the fish in. Didn't take any bait with us. When we got down there, we would open up the mussels, the oysters, whatever you want to call them. We catch little bait fish, and then we put the bait fish on. We catch the big fish. So anytime that we needed more bait, we just go open up one of those little oyster things and bait one of our little hooks, our little hair hooks, and these little shiners. Oh my gosh, they were everywhere. There were about hundreds everywhere, and they were great bait. Everything would bite on them, whether it was a snapper, a grouper, barracuda, didn't matter. They loved those little shiners. So that kind of reminded me of that. Yeah, anytime we wanted more bait, just go back to this one little area, and they would congregate in this one little area, and my gosh, wouldn't have to worry about going to buy bait or any of that. It
was something I never had done before, and when you're doing it in a big boat like that, and you're way offshore, and you run out of your last bait, and they think nothing of just let's go right back into shore and get some more bait. I thought that was a little unusual, but. It was great. It was a wonderful day out. I got to see some new techniques, and those guys are always generous on teaching me and letting me help. And certainly we appreciate that boat.
And you also did the ICAST show, right?
Oh yeah, that was a great time. I'll tell you, 15 of the girls in the Sisterhood of Fishing, and we've had a lot of the girls on our radio show, all met for the first time in Orlando. We walked around the ICAST show, which is the largest sport fishing trade show in the world. Looking for sponsors for our Pink Ladies fishing team, and getting to meet the girls. And Wanda Stewart we've had on. Terry Huffmaster is amazing. Get this, Terry Huffmaster signed up for the bass fishing tournament, and because she had a male guide on the boat, they were disqualified from the women's division. So they fished against 75 boats of the boys, and they won the ICAST Bass Fishing Cup.
In your eye.
And had a record weight fish.
Oh wow!
So they were walking around with that trophy all weekend, taking photos of it. It was great. It was awesome.
Something to be very proud of. Good job.
Absolutely. Yep.
Good
we
job.
Had Stacy Fertina was there. We had Tina with bait bucket. We had Wanda, of course. It was everybody. So many women. It was great to see us walk around the floor.
And that place is literally like a little city inside of this huge building. That's got to be one of the biggest buildings I've ever been in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they have two different huge halls. So it's amazing the conventions that go on there. And I'll tell you, the difficulty, though, was at restaurants. No employees wanted to work. So almost all the restaurants were empty. It took hours to get food. So that was a really pretty sad part of it. But the show floor was bustling. I mean, we met so many nice people, and it was nice to meet the girls that you talked to for so many years on the phone.
Cool. Looks like we have Robert on. Robert is with the New World Angler. That's the new name of the magazine. Formerly the Florida Fisherman magazine is now the New World Angler magazine. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Good morning, Robert. Great.
How are we doing, Robert?
Where were you talking about that they didn't want to work in the restaurant? I just picked it up at the end.
Yeah, we were up at ICAST in Orlando, and the 2 nights we went out, people did not want to work in restaurants. There was bartenders that were bartending, cooking, serving, cleaning.
Wow.
The service was 2 to 3 hours.
Ran into the same situation in San Juan.
Really?
We were in San Juan a couple of months ago, and same situation.
Wow, that's not good.
I had a waiter that was the waiter, the busboy, the sous chef, and the cashier.
Wow, Not a good thing.
Sadly, people just it's easier for them to stay home, unfortunately. And we're trying to get these resort cities going, every city going again. But I'll tell you, it's an amazing place up there. It's Disney World, and the ICAST show is pretty amazing.
That building is just unbelievable. The building is it's a building, I'm telling you. If you've never been to this building, words cannot really properly describe the immense size of this place. Just, you could literally get lost in this building, literally, for God knows how long. It is. It's really, really big. Have you been there, Robert? You been to the convention center?
I have. I did not go this year, but I have been there before, and.
Am I exaggerating when I say it is absolutely immense? This place is just huge. Am I exaggerating?
No, somewhere I have a picture taken from the catwalk up above, so you can see the whole thing. It's
like a miniature city.
Send it to you next week.
Yeah, like a little city down there.
Yep.
And you could have, I don't know how many possible 10, 20 trade shows. That's how big this place. You can't, like I said, words really don't do it justice. This place is immense. It's just huge. You could have all kinds of shows going on, and I don't mean little trade shows. I'm talking about major shows going on, and you don't even
and unlike
see
most
each other.
Of them, it has the parking for it too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it has tremendous. Like I said, you just have to go see it. You get the opportunity to go to Orlando, and something going on in the convention center at Orlando. Go. You won't be. You'll be shocked.
That's the Orange County Convention Center.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yep.
Well,
so
I have to tell you guys.
Of them up there.
I have to tell you guys a funny parking story. So we rented a car, and we parked in a huge parking lot, and none of us paid attention to what car we rented. So, do I have to go on?
No, you're good. How many times you have to push the clicker to find the car?
Oh, a lot.
I'm seeing you in my mind, the group walking around and parked it. No, you parked it. No, it's over here. Just pushing a button, and she's walking along, waiting for it to answer her. Oh, I wish I had a video of that.
In 94-degree weather.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was tough.
How long did it take you to find your car?
Ask Angela. It took a little while. It was like this row, no, this row, no, this row. So yeah, it was a little bit, but we got that taken care of.
Oh my goodness! I had a friend of mine who was really seriously thinking about coming out with a little device. It has a transmitter and a receiver. The transmitter sits in your car. The receiver sits on your key ring. And it's good for like a quarter mile, so you can park
wherever. Just Atlas Trax your car.
You know, that funny thing would have been all the trackers were in my physical vehicle, and we jumped in my girlfriend's rental car. So yeah, we should have.
No, you just did yourself in, Carolyn. You could have.
Well, the only reason we didn't take my car is it was loaded with Atlas Trax stuff, so we needed space for 3. So that's a very next time I'll do that. I did, however, do that in Key West one time after a couple beers. That worked out well.
Yeah.
You see, you messed yourself up. You could have taken one of your little portable Atlas Trax, and it wouldn't have mattered where you put it. I mean, where you put the car, it wouldn't have mattered because you would have been able to find your car.
100%. I will do that next time.
If it makes you feel any better, I had a similar situation in San Diego Airport many years ago. So I parked there, went somewhere, came back about a week later and could not remember where the hell I parked my car. So.
I'm gonna tell you my secret. Even if I have to wait, I will park in the row that is closest to the door. So when I walk out the door, I just walk straight down the aisle, and that's where my car is, even though I have to wait. I don't want to be
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've gotten in the habit of taking a picture now. When I get out of the car, I take a picture of where my car is. So.
What happens if you take a picture of the car and the cars that it's parked next to have left? Now you're in trouble.
Oh, no, I take a picture of the parking lot number.
Oh,
and
I see.
The spot number.
Yeah, okay. Oh, my. What a riot. Well, Carolyn, I was going to ask you something. Now, my mind just went completely blank. This is what happens on Sunday mornings when you're trying to wake up. What was I going to ask you, Carolyn? I'm
Well,
still thinking about you looking for the car. What a riot. Oh, my goodness. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I've lost complete track of what I was going to say.
That's okay. I was going to get into your brain, and it was probably something fishing related, I would imagine. But hey, Robert, did you go fishing this week?
I did not. My friend Patrick Price, who I was supposed to fish with, is in the hospital.
Oh, no.
With COVID.
Oh, my goodness.
Captain from Daymaker Charters is in the hospital. This will be his 6th day in intensive care, and have not heard from him in a few days, or his wife, so I don't know how he's doing. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Lord have mercy. Wow. I am sad to hear that.
Me too. He's a great guy. He was actually the first person I ever interviewed. When I started all this, he was the first captain I ever interviewed. He does the fishing reports every month for us. He's just a great guy, and it's sad.
His first name is Patrick?
Patrick Price, yep.
Yeah, we'll have
Daymaker Charters.
Put him down on the prayer list. And get him out of there in good health and back to what he loves to do.
Yep.
So
it's funny because he didn't get vaccinated, and he said, I didn't think I needed it. He said, I'm on the boat all the time. He said, and I'm either on the boat or I just go home. And he said, my wife's vaccinated. She's a teacher, and and he said, so it was just the three of us normally around. His son's like 8. He said, so he goes, but then his father died, and he went to the funeral.
Oh, boy.
He said that was the first time I was around a bunch of people, and he goes, and I got it.
My. Well, I've had 8 friends have caught it. They all made it through okay. One friend is such a wimp. This guy's such a wimp. Felt like I was going to die. Well, you may feel like you were going to die, but you didn't. I find that the people who get this COVID and have the worst of it are the people who are low in vitamin D. So if you've got vitamin D levels that are low, you have to supplement yourself.
Anybody that's out in the sun all day is not a vitamin D deficient person. So.
Yeah, some people can't make it enough of it, though, even if you're out in the sun all day. It's what do they call it, a desensitization? It's like when somebody who drinks all the time, if they drink all the time, they build up a tolerance to it. And I read an article where some people who are out in the sun all the time, their body still won't make enough because it builds up a tolerance to it. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what I run into. But that seems to be a common denominator between everybody. Is a low vitamin D level seems to be an attraction for that nasty thing. Well, we will definitely keep him on the prayer list and want him back out at ASAP. Wow, I'm sad to hear that, my friend.
But anyway, the magazine did get finished, as you saw. I sent you a copy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The magazine is different this time because now we add to it. It came out in the end of August, or the end of June. And we will continue to update it until the September issue comes out.
Got a lot of articles.
About 3 or 4 times now. So
lots and lots of articles, lots of stuff. It's really neat in there.
Well, it gets bigger every week now, so we add more reports. We add more. As a matter of fact, we added an article about the plantation on Crystal River last week, and what else did we add? A few more readers' features, pictures, and a couple more fishing reports last week. And this week, there's a bunch of new fishing reports to add, and a bunch of new pictures to add, and we'll just keep. I think it'll be probably 300 pages by the time the September issue comes out. But.
Wow, it'll be the New World Encyclopedia.
The great part is I'm waiting for my buddy Tyler to come down. I don't think there's a lot of people that know how to work the magazine or how to store the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to shoot a video with me on how to use the magazine.
Uh-huh. Cool. Well, something with that many pages, my gosh, it's not something you're just going to sit down and flick through real quick. It's going to take some time, and it takes a tremendous amount of work. That's amazing. That really is. So now it's every 3 months? Did you say?
Yep, it'll be. It's actually seasonal. This one's a summer issue. There'll be a summer, fall, winter, and spring issue.
Cool.
And the winter issue will also be the holiday issue.
Wow. Well, that's pretty neat.
We update them, like I said, weekly. So it's a lot easier than trying to do an issue every month because that just became ridiculous to try to do that. it's just too time consuming. This is a much better way to do this, I think. So
now, is it at the same address as before, the same web address, or a new address?
Yep, it's we just didn't move anything. It seemed easier because everybody knew where it was. So, and it has proven to be true. And that's the website is. This issue has been read by more people than any issue we've ever done. So. Oh wow! And the website is what? www.flfishmag.com. That's what I thought. And you'll find stuff from Australia. As a matter of fact, I was going to mention the fact that the people from Australia and New Zealand are the nicest people I have ever talked to. Wow. They are just happy folks. Happy people. New Zealand and Australia, I'm trying to remember in my mind, I think they're not very far from each other, right? They're countries that... They're not. Yeah, and the people in New Zealand and the people in Australia speak similarly with that accent of theirs. They both speak similarly. Yep. I knew a person from New Zealand, and I always thought that they had that crazy accent, the Australian accent. And when I said to them, "Are you from Australia?" "No, mate, we're not from Australia." Yeah, it was a riot. My goodness. But they have some interesting fish over there that we don't have, and kind of cool. Very cool.
Well, let me tell you what else is crazy about New Zealand, and I didn't know this, and probably a lot of our listeners didn't. You can actually ski in New Zealand. Huh? There are over 10 ski resorts there.
Wow.
So, when I think of New Zealand and Australia, I think of black marlin fishing and things like that. I don't think of, getting in a car and going skiing.
That's crazy. My goodness. Wow. All right, well, we're up against a break. Robert, I wish you an awesome day, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in and giving us an update. I greatly appreciate that. New World Angler Magazine, www.flfishmag.com. You can find it there. The largest edition ever, right, Robert? This is going to be the largest edition ever. Yep.
It is already, and if you got to send us something, send it to pages@flfishmag.com, and we would love to see your pictures. We're getting a little more selective on the readers' features pictures. We're looking for great backgrounds, unusual fish. It's coming along. So.
Cool. Well, Robert, thank you. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to share with us this morning. I wish you an awesome day, my friend. Be looking forward to having you back on next week. Let me give Carolyn an opportunity to
have a great day.
Say goodbye, and we'll go to a break.
You too, Robert. Have a great day with your family.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun. Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. I just realized it's not the WCET network anymore. We are on the new network. This is one of the advantages that we have now. We're on the new network, which is the Trim Radio Network. WCET was the old network. And we're going into, I believe, our 7th month, so we're still a baby network. And the way that you can help us is just get the word out and let people know that this is where we're at Sunday mornings. This is how you can find us. If you have, if you are on the web, you can go to our home network, which is WTRMradio.com, and there's a player there. You can go to our website, which is fishinginfloridashow.com, and there's a player there. If you're on Facebook, you can go to our Facebook page and click on Contact Us. That will get you to a player. If you have the TuneIn app, I don't know why my throat is so dry this morning. If you have the TuneIn app, you can find us on the TuneIn app. And a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. That's where you would go on the TuneIn app. And you would find us there at Marina Rock Radio. Thank you to Marina Rock Radio. Greatly appreciate it. They allow us to use their servers on Sunday mornings to reach that many more people. Greatly appreciate it. Marina Rock Radio on the TuneIn app. And, of course, the easiest of all of the ways is if you download our app. We have an app that's absolutely free. It has no adware, has no spyware, has no push notifications, none of that stuff. We don't want to have access to your pictures or your address book or any of that. We just want to be able to allow you to listen to the network without any of the other garbage that a lot of these things that you download. We want access to this and we want that and the other. You won't have any of that with ours. We just trying to make it as easy as we can for people to listen to the network. So this morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me, and what I like to say about Carolyn, if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, my dear.
Well, thank you, Riscala.
My throat is like, and I'm not drinking coffee this morning. I'm waking up on my own. All right.
I have to tell you, I'm mesmerized by the cameras. Right now we have 10 paddle boarders out there just paddle boarding around, and you can still see the ripples of the paddles.
Wow. Well, I think we have Betty Bauman. Betty is with Ladies Let's Go Fishing. Good morning, Miss Betty. Welcome to the Fishing in Florida Show.
And hi, Carol.
Good morning. Hi, Betty.
How are we doing, my dear?
Well, I am working on ordering the new shearwater. It's that time. For next year, they've come back in, and in addition to, planning for the fall and next year, I'm working on iCast. I went to the show, and I have a lot of videos and pictures to upload of new products that's coming in for people to see in the stores starting this summer and fall.
And Carolyn was at the ICAST show, and we were talking about how immensely huge that building is. Did you find that to be accurate?
Well, the building is big. I have the North and South Hall. Back in 2019, they had both halls full of exhibits.
Wow.
This year it was one hall. However, it was quite large, and I kind of liked it because you could walk across the show, in 15 minutes versus, when they had both halls and the fly fishing show would take a half an hour to 45 minutes to walk from one end to the other.
That'll give you an idea just how big this place is. When they're doing two halls, it's a half an hour walk. And that's how big this place is. Unbelievable. I can't imagine that there's other places that's common to see buildings that are so big, just unbelievably big. So how did you do there at the show?
I got great reception for the Ladies Let's Go Fishing concept, and people that maybe didn't consider us before. For instance, we're short of lures. We've a lot of new people coming on board for support, and I also cover what products ladies would like to see. Is there anything out there that they think would make their fishing better or more convenient? And not just ladies, but ladies, for a show like this, it's basically beginners or people that want more comfort. And there were the new product showcase had 600 items.
Wow. That's quite a few. Goodness gracious. So it sounds like it was a good time for all. Carolyn said she had a really good time there. And were you there for the whole thing?
Yes, and I was a little surprised. There was hardly anybody wearing masks. I was kind of hoping for more masks and less handshakes. People were still shaking hands. But pretty much it seemed like business as usual, and of course the industry is upbeat. People are selling product like never before, but the downside is people are having inventory issues because the parts aren't coming in. So some of the rod and reel manufacturers are months and months out before they can
I didn't know
provide what they have. For instance, Mercury, I'm ordering the engine for 300 horsepower is a year out.
Wow.
There's the issue are the disruptions in the supply chain.
I have been hearing
and lack of workers to build.
I've been hearing about all kinds of delays. There was somebody sent me a video of California coast. There was like a dozen of these container ships sitting offshore, and they don't know why they weren't coming in to get unloaded. So it's affecting areas I never even considered before. Wow, that's a year for
this is the pandemic between the supply shortage and lack of workers, and also the disruptions that the COVID shutdowns caused.
This is the ripple effect now. Wow.
Yeah. For instance, my Pen Passions, I ordered them in April. They're not going to be shipped till November.
Goodness gracious. Wow. So they're selling more, but they can't get product out the door. So there's it's a bottleneck. It's just plugged up.
Bottleneck, yeah.
Wow. So what is the latest and greatest with what you have planned for the ladies? What's the next I can't think of the right word. The next outing.
Yes, I have the Keith event, which is usually the most popular of the year. That's October 15th through the 17th in Isla Morada, and that's the full-day seminar on inshore and offshore fishing, plus the hands-on practice, a networking party on Friday, another one on Saturday, fishing on Sunday with the Casual Fishing Fever Tournament. We'll be giving away some rods and reels and fishing gear for easy rules, and bonus fishing on Friday, full day, so they can pick inshore, offshore, or party boat, and they can mix it up. They can do offshore one day and inshore the next day.
So what I like about this, and in my life's experience, which I've shared many times, my mom loved fishing, so the family went fishing all the time. And in my experience of that, it was kind of sort of like the glue that helped the family stay together, because we all experienced the same thing, but we had a different perspective of what we did. And we all shared, and we all had, quote, skin in the game, if you will. You know, we all caught fish. My brother would scale them. I would clean them. My mom would spice them up. My dad would cook them. So everybody had something involved in what was going on. And I really think that helped us because we were always, to this day, my best friend is my brother. So we were always a very, very close-knit family. And I think fishing played a very, very big part of that. That's just why I try to promote fishing, and particularly with ladies, because in my experience, some of the ladies I've met are somewhat intimidated by this. They're not, not everybody's familiar with fishing. They don't know how to tie a knot. They don't know what kind of bait to use or what kind of rod and reel to have or any of that stuff. And that's what I enjoy about you, Betty. The Ladies Let's Go Fishing is literally takes them from A to Z. How to tie the knot, how to put the hook on, how to put the bait on, how to cook the fish. I love it.
Right. We try to boil the complexity into simplicity by, keeping it as simple as possible, and then showing them and giving them the confidence on, where to get information on the particular kind of fishing they want to do. Once they go through the seminar, they have an idea of what kind of fishing they want to do, and feel more comfortable walking into a tackle shop, and they know what questions to ask.
Yeah, takes the intimidation out of it. My mom would have been one of your biggest fans. God bless her. She'd have been your shadow.
Well, maybe she's helping me from the sky.
Because this is just something I don't know why she found it so, why she loved it so much. But I am grateful, ever so grateful, that I look back on those memories now, and it always brings a smile to my face and fond memories of being able to go as a family, go do this, and spend the entire, sometimes it'd be the whole weekend. Sometimes we'd spend the whole weekend, and we wouldn't always go out on a boat. A lot of times we'd fish from land. We would fish from the bridges, or we'd fish from different piers. One of our favorite places was Naples. We'd go over to Naples, and they'd have a pier over there, and we'd fish from the pier. So there's a lot of places. I've said many times, if you don't like water, you're in the wrong place. There's a lot of places you can go fishing here. And what I like about you is you don't stick to just salt water. You tell them about everything that's available. It's freshwater, saltwater, deep water, backwater. So they get a good, well-rounded education. And I think that really helps, because I do believe that there would be more ladies fishing if they didn't feel that. It has been pretty much a male-dominated thing up until, I would say, maybe, the last 10 years or so. Ladies have really been coming into the fishing and becoming known as part of the industry. The more that we can get involved, the more ladies we can get involved, I think the better it is for everybody.
Well, we're doing our part in the ICAST show. The organizers did a speech. They're working. One of their big campaigns is 60 and 60, and that's build angler numbers from up to 60 million in 60 months.
Wow.
And It's really interesting that COVID and the need for people to find a way to get outdoors has really propelled the actuality that they will reach their target, because they're very close to it already. And the reason why we offer different kinds of fishing is because there are many, many kinds, like you said, that you and your mother did. So, for instance, we are offering the bass fishing tournament and seminar October 15th and 16th in Central Florida, Lake Wales, at Guy Harvey Camp Mac. And they can also participate in Tickled Pink Tournament, and they will be fishing from Tom pontoon boats and have a chance to network with other anglers that are more experienced and have a dinner and a bonfire. And then we also have November 20th to 21st, surf fishing in St. Augustine. and that's also at the Guy Harvey Ocean Resort with a big beach behind it. You can stay at the hotel and fish right behind the hotel at the beach.
Cool.
And we added a golf cart tour of the Night of Lights.
Wow.
Where they light up the town of St. Augustine for Christmas, and it's quite spectacular. So, we add these social elements because ladies want to meet other people who like to fish. And it's important in their continuance of the sport to have some type of a network.
The relationships that the ladies get to build is, that's awesome. This is something that they wouldn't normally be subjected to. And they get around other ladies who have an interest in the same thing they do. There's a common bond there. And I can't imagine that they're not walking away building relationships. I think that more than likely what's happening is they are, in fact, building relationships, friendships that would be maybe lifelong because of the common bond there. It's a win-win situation. That's what I like.
Help with that is a virtual meeting I've got. I'm working for one on August 10th. Because the ladies, they can log in from really anywhere in the world. And for some ladies, they want to know, can I picture myself learning with these other ladies? What do they look like? What do they sound like? So this virtual meeting gives them a chance to get familiar with who we are, what we do, and who are the ladies. And
that's pretty neat.
Again, the social element is important. We'll be having a raffle, so working on getting that announcement out.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Betty, I didn't even think about reaching out to you to meet up with you at the ICAST show. We just went for a day and a half. Actually, real quick, just overnight trip. And at some point, we'll have to all get together.
Yeah, that would have been great. But, I know how it is. You have a lot of people to see, and in the first few days, there are many appointments. And they also have sessions where you can learn more about, what's happening with the water flow. That is an issue here in Florida with the Theodore Roosevelt Foundation. So they usually have some very interesting meetings about that, and also meetings to those attending about, how to engage and retain. Right now, the big push is how to retain these anglers, the big numbers of new ones we got through COVID. Not through COVID, but, that happened during the pandemic. So, how to keep them from fallout, how to keep them in the sport and continuing to push the tackle.
Yeah.
Because the money goes to sport fish restoration from the excise tax, and that money flows back through the states for conservation and educational programs. So that's the goal now, is to retain these new anglers.
To keep the interest going, keep them interested in what's happening, and so that they continue on, and I really think that you're doing a very well deserved and very muchly needed service for the ladies. I think that the more ladies we can get involved, this is just the way I see it. The more ladies we can get involved, the more families we can get involved. Do you find that a lot of the ladies that come to your program are single or married?
Oh.
Is it 50-50? Is it?
It's about half and half.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and they all have different reasons for wanting to learn. But the thing about ladies is they don't typically want to fish alone. Mm-hmm. So if you bring one lady into the sport, she brings in 3 to 4 or 5, 6 more people.
Wow.
Because she basically recruits.
I read a short article a couple of months back. It was saying how the ladies in the fishing industry is the, how do they refer to it? It was the fastest moving component of the fishing industry. Of everything that's involved in the fishing industry, the ladies' introduction into the industry is the fastest moving component of it all. There are more ladies that are joining literally by the day, far outnumbering the number of men that are doing it. And I think that the outcome of that is going to be good because, if you have, again, I just have to share my experience, and my experience was because of my mom. We did it all the time. We all, and everybody won. This is something else that people don't realize is everybody, when you're doing something like this and you're sharing it with someone else, and each of you get to experience the same thing, but you have a different perspective. You even though you're both fishing on the same boat, you'll see something that the other person didn't see, or the other person will experience something that you didn't experience. And you get to share that with each other. And in the sharing, it builds the relationships. And that's one of the most important things that we need today is to build our relationships. There's so much that's causing us to be divided. And this is a perfect example of something we can do, have an enjoyable time, and build a relationship while you're at it. Expand the number of people that you are exposed to. And with that, it helps, to me, it helps bring in new perspectives of life. So it's this constant interest there. I think it's awesome what you do. I can't say enough about that because of my experience with my mom. I'm hoping that more and more ladies that hear about you will get involved. Again, it's A to Z. She'll teach you everything. She doesn't leave anything out. Everything is taught at one time or another. Everything is taught, right down to the cooking. You tell them. You tell any of your trade secrets on how to cook the fish?
Yes, and I share some of my secret recipes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something we sometimes talk about at the virtual meetings. And also, for kingfish, people don't like it sometimes because it tastes oily, and I share my recipes on how to prepare it so it's nice and white and flaky and delicious.
Wow. That's something my mouth is watering thinking about it. Goodness gracious. All right, my dear. Well, Betty, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And while I'm thinking about it, the website, ladiesletsgofishing.com, is that correct?
Yes, and it won't let me edit right now. I'm going crazy, but it's it's there. ladiesletsgofishing.com. People wonder what I do all the time. A lot of it is back-end technology, and there's a button for all of our events, and I'm working on the link for the August 10th virtual meeting.
Great. All right, my dear. I wish you an awesome day. Thank you for taking time to share with us. Let me give Carolyn an opportunity to say goodbye to you.
Absolutely, Betty. Have a great Sunday, and I'd like to hear about the next Shearwater. I'll get to you privately.
Yeah, I'm happy with this one, so I'm excited about that. Maybe we can get you involved. And
I would love to. I'd like to see a boat up here in my Pompano Beach area, so maybe you can help me with that.
Okay,
nice.
Cool.
All right, Betty. God bless you. Thanks again. Greatly appreciate it.
Tight lines.
Tight lines to you too, my dear.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next guest. Our next guest is Leiza Fitzgerald. Leiza is with CCA of Florida, and I think she's got some very interesting updates for us. Good morning, my dear.
Well, good morning, Riscala. Good morning, Carolyn. And if Betty is still listening, good morning, Betty. I can tell you, 20 some odd years ago, I worked with and helped Betty Bauman, and I'm still one of her guest speakers. And ladies, if you want to go fishing, that is a great way to get you started, get you educated, and her recipes are absolutely amazing. So
awesome.
Tune in on the 10th and listen to her live feed. So, but enough about that. Let me move on to some superstar announcements.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear this.
We haven't spoken in quite a while. So, within our competition, as I've told everyone, in the West Marine tagged redfish division, we released 167 tagged redfish throughout the coastal waters of Florida, on average about 4 per coastal county. We do have Brevard County, Citrus County, and Charlotte County as our destination counties, so they each have a total of 8 fish. Because of that, we have had some really cool happenings. Lots of fish caught in those counties. We have 3 tagged redfish winners at this point.
Wow. And
one of them comes from Fort Pierce. That gentleman was on his dock and caught a tagged redfish from his dock He was the first adult to do so, and he had his choice of a brand new Contender, a Pathfinder, or a Spider Vapor.
Oh, my God.
With a Yamaha motor on the back, sitting on a trailer.
Lord
and
have
this gentleman,
mercy.
because he's in Fort Pierce, chose the Contender with a 250 Yamaha on the sitting on a trailer. Valued at nearly $90,000.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah,
Just to go fishing.
Just to go fishing.
Well, here's the thing. How many times do I say I fish off my dock? And I never caught anything like that.
Wow.
Well, you know, just incredible. So people always ask me, oh, you know, it's just for people who have boats. No,
it's not.
You fish from a dock.
Yeah.
So I will share you, we've had something even more monumental. And Star has been, this is our 7th year. We've never had a West Marine tagged redfish youth winner. However, we have 2.
Wow.
We have a young man from Flagler County. So the East Coast is racking it up. Flagler County, the young man caught a West Marine tagged redfish, was properly registered, knew the rules. He won a brand new Saltmarsh skiff 1656 with a 40 horsepower Yamaha, Minn Kota trolling motor on the bow, Humminbird electronics, and a shallow water anchor on the transom sitting on a trailer, valued at over $25,000.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. This is what I love about CCA of Florida.
And we have one more. We have another youth angler who caught his fish in Citrus County. And these young men have been fishing for a while. Each of them are 15. The other young man was from Citrus County. Again, he was registered in the competition from the start of the tournament, been fishing with his dad, fishing with his family. He caught the tagged redfish. And, you know, he also has a brand new Saltmarsh skiff, 1656, with a 40 horsepower Yamaha, Minn Kota trolling motor, Humminbird electronics, shallow water anchor, valued at over $25,000.
Wow.
These prizes will be awarded to them on October the 9th in Citrus County in Crystal River. For our award ceremony, we award over 100 anglers prizes from the Star competition.
So it's not over yet, right? Correct? It's still going on?
It is not. You still have over a month of fishing left. It ends Labor Day. That's a Monday. It ends Labor Day. And you can register right up until the last day of competition. And it's never too late because it is a random drawing of all of the entries, except for the tagged redfish division and the lionfish division. It is a random drawing of all of the entries in each division. For your coast, think about this. We've only got 62 kingfish entered.
Wow. Wow.
If you're a kingfisherman, we're drawing 6 winners. One of those winners is going to win a brand new 115 Yamaha motor.
Holy
valued at over $14,000.
Wow.
For a kingfish? Come on, people.
Right.
If you're kingfishing, you need to be putting them in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know, there's a Southern Kingfish Association, so there's tournaments.
That's amazing.
Yeah, every one of those anglers should be registered in the Star competition. I've talked to them till I'm blue in the face. Same way with mahi. Every dolphin that you catch can be entered in the Star competition for a shot at winning a share of $500,000 in prizes.
This is what I like about this particular event is because anybody can win. Do you still have the trash division? You still have that?
Oh my gosh, Riscala, yes. We have the trash division going on, and I really would love to give a super huge shout out to Dirk Snodgrass, who's down in the Keys. Dirk is entering so many entries in the trash division. I will tell you that there are 3 gentlemen running neck and neck. In the trash division, there is a most entries. Let me tell you. So we go by the 5-gallon buckets, right? 5-gallon buckets of garbage. There's a gentleman in Jacksonville, John Nooney. He has 703 5-gallon buckets that he has gathered from a kayak.
Wow.
From a kayak. The gentleman is a machine. Another gentleman, Donald Butcher, out of Titusville. This guy, every Monday, goes to the different causeways in Merritt Island, Titusville, and picks up garbage with his wife and enters them in the competition.
Wow.
Dirk Snodgrass is in Tavernier, and he does the exact same thing.
700.
I mean, it's just
oh my God.
700.
Holy
Last year we had over
smokes.
3,000 5-gallon buckets full of garbage.
That is amazing. That is just amazing.
And the prize, listen to this, 3 days, 2 nights in for the winner that we draw, 3 days, 2 nights in the Florida Keys at the Papa's Pilar private condo. You do a Hemingway rum tour of their distillery. You each get your own personal bottle of Papa's Pilar rum. So, I mean, and kids, if you're out there and you're of the age where you need community service hours, go to your nearest body of water that is saltwater related, pick up a 5-gallon bucket full of garbage. It gives you 30 minutes of community service hours.
Wow. See,
I have kids that are getting 10 and 12 hours of community service every summer because they're able to go out with their parents on their own time, pick up garbage, dispose of it properly. They send me their community service hours logs. I sign off on them, and they have their community service hours.
Awesome.
It's hard to get right now.
That is awesome. And everybody, this is what I love. Everybody wins. The environment wins. We win. We have a cleaner environment. The people picking up the trash win. And nobody loses in this. This is just, it's awesome. This is what I really like about it. And can you imagine getting a 3 days and 2 nights for doing nothing more than picking up a piece of trash? Oh.
Picking up garbage and doing something good for the environment.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
And people don't even realize getting into the STAR competition makes you a citizen biologist because every fish that you enter gives catch data that's necessary for different organizations like the University of Florida, like Fish and Wildlife, different organizations that need information regarding species and size and location and health and whether or not you kept the fish or released it. All of this information is in the app when you enter your fish, and then we provide it to the other regulatory bodies that need the information.
Again, everybody wins.
Wow.
Yes.
It's
one of those things where it's kind of hard to find something that you don't win at. It's all the way around. So I imagine that when you tag the fish, all of the data about the fish, how old the fish is and all that is on the tag, or is that how it works? Is that
so? The tag has a tag number. It has a phone number on it. It also asks that if it says release me. So what we ask our anglers to do is once they capture the fish, if they are in the tournament, we want them, and there's instructions on your measuring devices that you can pick up at any West Marine store or bait and tackle. Take a photo of the fish on the measuring device, submit it in the app, cut the tag. Do not pull the tag. Pulling the tag out is like pulling an earring out of someone's ear or, a nose ring, belly button ring. You don't want those pulled out. Don't pull it out of the fish. Clip it close to the skin of the fish and release it. If you are not in the competition, release the fish with the tag intact so that you can get registered and go back and catch it at a later date, or someone else has the opportunity to catch it. I can tell you at this time, there have been a total of 9 fish that have been recaptured.
Wow.
That were by non-registered anglers, and they released those. All but 2 of those fish were released. Jupiter has fish that were caught and released. Palm Beach has a fish that was caught and released. There are quite a few counties in your area that have had fish caught and released. So please, make it a point, if you do catch one of the fish, to catch it and release it.
Yeah, give somebody else the opportunity as well. Yeah.
So what we do is we do keep a database on these fish, where they were released, their size, and then when they were recaptured. Many of these fish have been recaptured multiple times.
Wow.
And oh yes. Last year we had one fish in the Cape Canaveral area that was recaptured 3 separate times. And each time someone released him, but each time they were not registered in the competition.
Wow. I'm surprised that with what you said, that they're recaptured over and over again. That's shocking to me.
This is perfect data to let you know that these fish, the majority of them stay in a localized area. So if you go back to the same area and continue to remove fish from that area by harvesting, 5 or 6 different fish at a time, you're depleting our resources in that area. This is why we say you want to sustainable resources. Mm-hmm. So if you find, a school of redfish in an area, and you keep going back to that area, and every day you take your limit from that area, pretty soon they won't be there anymore.
Yep, I see exactly where you're getting at.
So what we try to impart to people is, take one, release the rest. You can catch them because you can, and captains, the same thing. Captains realize repeatedly they're catching that same fish. If they catch it and release it, guess what? Their next charter will catch that fish, and that every time that fish comes to the boat, cha-ching, cha-ching. Wow. That's why we have to be wise. They are so valuable, more valuable alive than dead.
Good point. Wow, I'm still trying to work through my mind. I don't know why I had this impression in my mind. Once a fish gets caught, it's rare that it ever gets caught again. And you're saying sometimes up to three times.
I've in the same day.
Wow.
I've caught a fish twice.
Wow.
A
That's
redfish broke it off. Hour later, back in that same area, catch the fish, and there's my jig in its mouth.
Holy smokes. That's amazing.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yep, I've caught snook in the same way.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm shocked. I don't know why. Maybe it's ignorance on my part. I just thought once they got caught that they typically wouldn't bite again, at least for some time. And you're saying that there's evidence that they do it within the same day. That's, gosh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So you could actually, you could be there fishing. You could be not registered with CCA, catch one of these tagged fish. Somebody could be fishing alongside of you who is registered. You let the fish go, and it's very possible that they could catch that fish. That's crazy.
It's very possible. Yes, it is. That's why we give a polygraph examination to all of the anglers so that we know. I can give you a perfect example. Years ago, we had a gentleman who was not registered catch a fish up in the Panhandle. He knew what he had. He released it in that area. He went. He got all his buddies. They all got registered. They went back there the next morning to try and recapture this fish. There was another angler, and it sounds like a story, a fairy tale, but it's the truth. There was another two anglers that knew the same spot but did not know that this person the night before had caught a tagged redfish there. They were registered. They weighed fish. So they walk the 3 miles down to this little spot, and when they walk in, what they see are two boats sitting in this little cove with 5 or 6 rods out. And when they walk out to the edge of the sandy area to go fishing, the boats see them, and they pack up and they leave. Well, guess what? The two waders wade out, and they fish for about 20 minutes, and the other guy hooks a red, the other guy hooks a red, and both of them are registered.
Oh, wow.
The one guy brings in the fish, and it has a tag, and he wound up winning the contender.
God.
The only way I know this story is because we announced the winner, and we announced the area, but not the exact location. We just said Choctawaki Bay, and get a phone call from the man who had caught the fish the previous night to the catch that won.
Oh, bummer.
And he told me this story. He said, please don't tell me the guy was the wade fisherman that came in on us. I said, yes, sir. So I can tell you, it is a small world when it comes to fishing.
That's amazing. You'll be kicking yourself in the behind because you didn't get a membership and you caught a fish that was tagged that could have possibly won you. Oh, my gosh. Anything from a pickup truck to a beautiful boat? Lord have mercy.
Oh,
wow.
This year we do not have a truck, unfortunately, with all that has gone on with COVID-19. Many of the manufacturers are not doing as much. They don't have to. They don't have the product. So we do still have a Pathfinder and a Spider boat still available. So you can still win a brand new boat valued at over $80,000.
Wow.
It's easy. Your registration and star is $40. You must be a member of CCA, which is $35. So it's $75. Even joining now, you have over 30 days of fishing left. There's not another fishing competition that you can enter for $75 that allows you a shot at $500,000 in prizes, as well as 30 days of fishing. So it's a great competition to get involved with. Plus, the proceeds from the competition go directly back into youth scholarships and conservation of our marine resources.
Win-win. I love it.
Win-win. Win-win-win.
Yep. All right, my dear. We're out of time on this. This is what happens on Sunday mornings. This is some of the fastest time of my life happens on Sunday morning. I blink an eye. Oh, my gosh, it's gone. Thank you so much for what you do. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll be looking forward to having you back on with the latest and greatest update.
If someone wants to get registered, Riscala, they can go to our website, ccaflstar.com, or they can call us right over the phone at 844-387-7827. That's 844-387-7827.
Thank you. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, overwhelming amount of information, and you guys do so much good. And definitely, I popped into the booth at ICAST. Thank you for all you do to keep the environment getting a little cleaner.
Oh, you are so welcome. It was great to have you there, and can't wait. We all have to get together and do something fun next time I'm down your way.
There you go.
I'd love to.
All right.
All right, guys and gals, have a great Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scholar Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun. Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show, and it is an honor and a privilege to have you listen in. Thank you for taking time and allowing us to share with you Sunday mornings. It is some of the fastest time of my life. Blink an eye, and before I know it, the show's over. So this morning, I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend at Atlas Trax. Her name is Carolyn. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Well, thank you, Riscala, and I have to agree, these are the fastest 2 hours during the week.
Oh, my goodness. So, while you were there at ICAST, was there new technology being introduced there? Because I don't know much about ICAST at all. What is the show itself about?
Yeah, so typically the exhibitors are folks that are making fishing rods or tackle or clothing, cleaning products, things like that. A lot of electronics, and they all do their booths, and folks are going in and seeing what the new technology is. There was Betty mentioned a new technology section where they were having new scented lures, new fancy new lenses for glasses, things like that. And you would think, how much more new stuff could there be? And I'll tell you, every year there's something else that's come up. Even technology on shoes. I mean, Sperry topsider shoes, we're used to those being from Connecticut. Canvas little non-skid shoes. Now they have rubberized shoes that don't even get wet. They dry instantly. It's pretty neat.
Wow. What about, did they have, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about when I went out, and the technology I had on my boat, believe it or not, was a my depth recorder recorded on a piece of paper. This is how far back I go. I had a chart recorder is what it was called back then. And you actually had to put paper in this machine, and the machine would literally write out on a piece of paper what the bottom looked like. And you had to make sure you had paper, and we had this little stylus thing, and we had to make sure we had one of those little stylus things. So nowadays, I mean, that people laugh at that because that was like, it's so ancient. They have, we went from that to screens, black and white screens, and I think now they have color, right? When they're looking at
not only color, Riscala, they have side-seeing sonar now. So you can actually see the side profile of the bait fish down in the water in the depth. It's a pretty amazing technology. Unfortunately, there was a big chip fire in Japan, so a lot of these electronics folks can't get the equipment or finish out, like Betty was saying, the supplies. Even myself, when we're selling electronics, things are back ordered since December.
Wow. Well, I'm hearing more and more about this. The supplies backing up. There's a bottleneck going on. Like I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine sent me a video of the ships off of the California coast. There's like a dozen of them sitting out there, seemingly just waiting for who knows what. It doesn't look like the docks are overwhelmed. I mean, it looks like they could easily take in the ships and unload them. I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing more and more about it. It's beginning to concern me that we're going to have a bottleneck here coming up. When Betty said a year for a motor, my gosh, so much can happen in the span of a year. Can you imagine having a car, your car sitting in your driveway for a year before you can get the motor? I don't know. This is crazy.
I'll tell you what's amazing. If any of our listeners want to go to a website called marinetraffic.com, you could see every container ship that is on the water right now.
Oh, my.
And I just logged on. I logged on right now, and they're colorized on which ones are waiting for ports. If you look at this satellite imagery, the entire ocean looks like it has a boat waiting, and this is real live time.
Wow. That's crazy. So I don't know what the deal is. We got to get them in there and get them unloaded. We need our stuff. Oh, my goodness. So how many people do you think were there at that at the ICAST?
Well, that's a good question. So we all met on Tuesday and left on Thursday. The only disadvantage of that show was they had a very steep entrance fee. Normally shows like that are free for attendees. They were actually charging about $150 per entry. So that was difficult. But I would say that, there was probably maybe 300 or 400 walking around.
Wow.
You could always see the carpet on the floor, so it was not overpacked.
Wow.
Which was a nice thing.
Wow.
And you didn't really have to wait long to talk to anybody. But trade shows of the past, you couldn't even see the carpet when you were walking around the show floor.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we have Trey on. Trey is with Big Dog Tackle. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, how you doing?
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Hey, good morning, Trey. How was you were up at the White Marlin Open?
No, I was up at the Jimmy Johnson.
He was at the JJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about ICAST. I was up there too.
Oh, I might have seen you walking around, as a matter of fact, and I think you were talking to someone, so I did not interrupt you.
Likely story.
Yeah, while I was looking for my car.
I wanted Trey to come on and give us an update about the JJ tournament. What do they call that, Trey? The fishing for the ring, something for the quest for the ring?
Quest for the ring.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so what they do is whoever wins the tournament, they get a ring, like a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Which is a pretty cool prize to brag about, for sure.
So how did that go? I know you, how long did you spend up there?
I spent about a week up in New Jersey in Atlantic City.
Wow. And how was the whole thing? I know that they put on the premium of premium shows, of tournaments. Everything is the top with him. Was it the same at this one?
Oh, yeah. This one they had, it was their first year doing it up in the Northeast, and they ended up with 80 boats, which is phenomenal. Their goal was to get to 75, so they were they were ecstatic that they surpassed their goal with 80 boats. And everything was out of the Golden Nugget Casino, which they have a marina right next to the casino. And literally you can see the inlet from the casino.
And how long is the tournament? It's like 3 days or something?
So the way the tournament works is you get to pick 3 out of 4 days based on weather. So it's very similar to the other marlin tournaments up in the Northeast. So they give you a set amount of days that you're allowed to fish. And, you know, the weather up there is a little rougher down here sometimes. So they give you some options as to kind of play with the weatherman's forecast a little bit.
How was the weather?
You know, luckily the weather was beautiful. You know, it was sunny. The weather was pretty nice out in the ocean. And unlike down here we may go 70 miles fishing in a day, but it's typically north and south. Mm-hmm. They do those miles east and west.
What?
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's a lot more traveling distance and potentially rougher weather. So it's a lot of big boats like sport fish.
Wow.
And what'd you fish in?
I didn't actually fish. We were debating on fishing, and we decided that we've all been pretty busy lately, so we just enjoyed the time there.
And it's an awesome, it is an awesome venue to be around. Go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I was going to say, even just being there and being around the excitement of the weigh-in is spectacular.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So they had, it looked like a 100-ton crane that was parked right by the marina, and they had a crane lifting the fish right out of the back of the boats to bring them to the dock and weigh them.
I love it.
It was really neat, really neat. And when they pulled that 687-pound blue marlin out of the back of that boat, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
So what do they do with a 687-pound marlin?
So what was really cool about what they were doing, they would ask the teams as they came in if they wanted to donate fish. And so there were so many big tunas brought in, and then that big marlin, and then there was white marlin. The majority of the teams ended up donating their fish. There was probably 5 or 6 local charities like the Boys and Girls Club and different charities that ended up getting these fish. And they had a tractor trailer on site that was like a flash freezer. So they would put these fish in there, and it would keep the fish cold until they got them to where they were going.
Wow. See, that's the kind of stuff I like to hear about. It sounds like a everybody wins deal.
Everybody wins.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
And Trey, what kind of prize money was there involved in these big fish?
Yeah, big money in this stuff.
Yeah, big money in these tournaments for sure. So Jimmy Johnson, their guaranteed minimum is $1 million for every tournament, and then that goes up based on the number of boats that participate. So this tournament, I believe they hit $1.25 million for total payouts. And that blue marlin was the biggest money winner with, I believe, $195,000.
My goodness. Hey, a little bit of pocket change there. I think we can go out to dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just buy the whole restaurant.
Those guys, they have $1 million boats, multi-million-dollar boats, and those guys are just, the fuel costs on some of those boats is unbelievable. But, definitely those guys love the fishing tournaments.
Wow.
Yeah. And how was Atlantic City with, after all the COVID? Was it busy? Were hotels open?
Yeah, so Atlantic City was pretty busy. And there's actually kind of like 2 locations where the casinos are where it gets busy. There's the Boardwalk. So the Hard Rock has a nice casino over there that they've redone, and it's probably one of the nicest ones there. And then over by the Marina side, which is not that far away, there's a few casinos like Harrah's, the Borgata, and then the Golden Nugget that are all in that area. And there's little shuttles that they call jitneys that will take you around to the different casinos and different places, kind of like a shuttle bus that's local to Atlantic City. So it was pretty busy, and it was fun. A lot of people were there. It was good to see all the fishermen in town.
So it sounds like, were they under restrictions, like to have to wear the mask and stay 6 feet apart and all that stuff, or was that all of that out of the way?
No, all of that was pretty much non-existent. However, if you wanted to wear a mask, or if you wanted to take any precautions, you're welcome to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the guidelines, everything was pretty loose up there.
Cool. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Carolyn.
so it seems like we were getting a little bit back to normal. And
the big question, Trey, is how did you get to leave the store for 6 days?
True.
Oh my God, right?
True. Wow.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was working in the mornings, and then we're a sponsor for the Jimmy Johnson tournament, so I was working the tournament stuff in the afternoons and the evenings. So every day they had this area next to the marina, a big open parking lot that they had fenced off, and all the sponsors had set up with a main stage and all the food and the drinks, and sponsors were there, and that was open from 4 to about 9:30 at night every day. So I was there every day doing that, and then in the hotel room pretty much doing emails and business work.
So he was still working.
So
he just wasn't working at the store. That's
yeah,
what he's telling you.
I was working for the store, but not physically at the store.
He's still at work. He's just not at work at the store. He's still working. Well,
you know what though? I did slip out for a few hours and met a buddy of mine who's a charter captain up in I forget the inlet, but he's up there a little north of Atlantic City, Barnegat Inlet. And we slid out and we did some fluke fishing and caught a bunch of fluke and a bunch of black sea bass, which was pretty cool.
What is a fluke? I thought a fluke was
a fluke
something
is like a flounder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A little flatfish with both eyes on one side of its head,
Oh,
so it can look up, and it lays on the bottom. It's very flat.
Wow. All right. Well, here we go. We're out of time in a slot. Trey, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it, my friend. And I take it you're at the store this morning?
I am at the store.
So are you lonely? Do you need company? If you do, where's the store at in case anybody wants to come by?
You guys are more than welcome to come by and visit us at Pompano Beach right here, 14th Street Causeway and US 1.
There you go.
I was here at about 5:45 today, and helping all the customers get out there for that beautiful weather with their bait
awesome
and tackle.
Wow. Awesome.
And I have to tell you, I go by Trey's store almost every single day, and I always beep the horn, so he probably thinks I'm a weirdo. But just like Super 8, if Trey says the light's always on, the open light, it's always on.
There you go. Wow. Well, thank you, my friend. I wish you an awesome day.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Always great being on the show.
I'm looking forward to having you
got
back
it, Trey.
on. So long.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. When we come back, we'll have Angelia, and she is also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. She's going to give us an update on some of the things that they experienced there at the ICAST. Here we go.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun. Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
I gotta change that. Oh my goodness, I just realized that it keeps saying the WCET network. We're not on the WCET network, you big silly boy. We are on the Trim Radio Network, the new network, and we're also on Sunday mornings. We are on Marina Rock Radio's network as well. A big thank you to Marina Rock Radio for allowing us to do that. So there's several different ways you can find us. The easiest way of all of those is to download our app. There are no push notifications. There's no spyware, no adware. We don't want to know about your address book. We don't want to access your photos. We don't want any of that. We just want to give you the opportunity to be able to listen to the network in the easiest manner possible. If you don't have the app, if you have the TuneIn app, you can find us there. If you go to Marina Rock Radio on the TuneIn app, you can find us. If you're on the web, you go to our home network, WTRMradio.com. There's a player there. Or you can go to fishinginfloridashow.com. There is a player there. Or you can, if you're on Facebook, go to our Facebook page and click on Contact Us. There's a player there, so we try to make it as easy as possible for everybody. Working on the TuneIn app in general for the network, and we're also think we just got approved for the iTunes application as well. So in the near future here, there will be more and more ways that you can listen to us, and we're making it as easy as we possibly can. In the meantime, we can use your help as a new network. We're only going into 7 months now. We can use your help in the manner that just kind of spread the word out. Let people know, hey, listen, if you're bored Sunday morning and you want to listen in, then this is how you do it, and you can tell them a little bit about the show. In the meantime, let me welcome back my co-host. That is Carolyn with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back.
Well, thank you, Riscala.
And we have Angelia on with us, and Angelia is also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. She's down there in the Keys. And before I forget, congratulations, my dear, on the new home.
Oh, thank you so much. I am so happy. What a world of difference just moving 70 more miles south.
It's a completely different place, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. And if I can brag for just a moment, my beautiful new home on the water is surrounded by Key Deer Preserve property. Big Pine Key is the only place in the world where the Key deer still exist. There are less than 1,000 of them still left, and I bet you that I have about 100 of them just in my neighborhood. It is the most magnificent thing, and I wake up to them along the fence line every morning, and it is just awesome down here. It's the most rural place I ever imagined down here in the Keys. Actually, I never imagined it could get this rural down in the Keys, but I couldn't be happier. So thank you very, very much.
It's a pleasure. So people, if those who may not know why we kind of hold special the Key deer, is that they don't get very big down there. They're about the size of a large dog.
They absolutely are. In fact, Riscala, just a couple days ago, we had a very small baby that ran across the road, a couple of 100 yards out in front of us. And I actually thought it was a small dog, but no, it was a little tiny baby Key deer. And then yesterday morning, as I took my puppy out very early hours of the morning, there was the largest buck that I had seen to date with a big, beautiful, huge rack. And he was just standing right out in my front yard. I tossed him an apple core, which I probably shouldn't say on air. And just magnificent. They're so beautiful. And to think that there's less than 1,000 of them left on Earth, and that they're all right here on my little home island now. Just wonderful. I mean, really, it's a very special thing.
And they're very docile. They're I don't want to say they're used to humans, but they're not spooked as easily as.
Okay, that's what actually scares me about them. Is not only are they used to humans, you'll see someone out mowing their yard, and 20 feet away, there will be deer eating the flowers off of their bushes. They are not scared of humans at all. And that really kind of scares me. We went to have lunch with some friends over at the No Name Pub, which is in our neighborhood now. And there were some Key deer out front. They were literally posing with tourists. They are not afraid at all. And one was standing right out in front of the pub. And I kind of knelt down and put my hand out, and it walked right up to me and licked my hand.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think it's that they are so accustomed to humans, because that's why we lose so many of them every year. They have a sign right here in front of the ranger station where I live that says last year there were 76 of them killed in the road. And this year, so far, there have already been 47 of them killed in the road. So anyone who does come down to Big Pine Key, now that it's my home and I'm so in love with my deer, the speed limit that never goes over 30 miles an hour, please do not go over 30 miles an hour. Please be careful around the turns and the bridges, because they are there. They are not afraid. I had one walking straight down the middle of the road the other day, and she just turned around and at me like, why are you bothering me?
I was here first.
Yes, exactly. So everyone, please be conscious of them. They're so beautiful and so sweet. And like you said, so docile. And they're so used to the human beings in the cars that they're just not even afraid. And it worries me. But they are wonderful. And anyone who has not visited the Big Pine Key area, please do, because it's a really special place down here in the Keys. Like I said, you don't get any more rural in the Keys than on Big Pine. Almost the entire island is Key Deer Preserve land. The wonderful property that we've bought is surrounded by Key Deer property. Even across the canal from us, there's nothing. It's just wooded area, and it's owned by the state, and it's Key Deer property. So I get the glorious pleasure of waking up every morning with them all around.
That's
Dusk
awesome.
and dawn is the best times to see them. So when I take my little puppy out in the morning, they are all along the fence lines, and they're just beautiful, very stealthy, very quiet.
Wow.
But yeah, it's an amazing experience. It's definitely a different world, and I'm really happy about it. So I really appreciate your good greetings and good blessings and good wishes with that.
I'm happy for you. Now, you said amazing experience. How was the iCast?
The iCast was awesome. First of all, we went with a wonderful big group of women that are all very involved in the marine industry. Miss Wanda Stewart, who has formed the sisterhoodfishing.com, that if you haven't visited the website, please do. She features all of us ladies in such a flattering way. It's just really wonderful. I'm proud and I'm honored to be a part of it. But we had all of the ladies that have been featured on sisterhoodfishing.com. We had several of us pink ladies. Carolyn and I went together. And it was a really neat experience. What I didn't realize is it's not really open to the general public. When I registered and I was waiting for approval, it was really interesting to me because I figured like any other big trade show, you show up and you pay your fee to get in and that's it. But you really have to be some type of insider in the industry to even get approved to attend this thing and pay good money to attend it. But so it's really interesting. The booths that are there are not things that are for sale. It's people showing you products that will be coming out next year and new products that are coming out. They're pitching their brands and they're pitching them to people in the inside of the marine industry that are captains or business owners or other entrepreneurs in the marine industry. And it's a really interesting experience and huge. I can't even tell you how many vendors that were there. I don't even know that we saw every booth that was there. It was so large. The Pink Ladies are honored to be sponsored by Starbright Marine Products. So we spent a lot of time at their booth, which was just lovely. Did a little interview there, which came out great. The Sisterhood Fishing girls were all over the place doing their things at the different booths that were sponsored by. And a lot of us were lucky enough to pick up some new sponsors, which is always a wonderful thing. Getting free products from big manufacturers and good name companies is a great thing for us ladies. So it was a really, really neat experience. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of bonding, and a lot of new connections. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was a great experience. We had a lot of fun.
And I have to interrupt because only in the style that the Florida Salty Cowgirl can do, I introduced her to the owner of Starbright. And, and not only did she say, do you have a shopping bag around here? Because I'm taking stuff out of the booth. she had herself to an armful of cleaning products for her new Boston whaler. And then, of course, Patrice, who was with us, followed suit and started taking stuff off the shelf. And they pretty much said whatever the Pink Ladies want, they could have.
Oh,
awesome. That's such a lovely, lovely company. Number one, I've been using their products for many, many years. They're my absolute favorite. I should have stock in them. I've spent so much money. Now to have the honor of being given a name and an email address and being told, just email us a list of whatever you want and we'll send it to you for free is an absolute honor. I couldn't be more honored by that. So I will be definitely pitching the Starbright products, which I completely believe in. Anyone who has not tried them, please do. But heck yeah, they've got shelves full of stuff. I said, can I go shopping? And they said, sure. So I started loading up.
Little did they know it. Little did they know.
When you get a 33-foot boat and an antique little 13-foot boat that you're trying to restore, those products are gold.
Wow. So
I'll be doing some instructional videos for them and really touting their products because I truly believe in them. And they were very gracious. What nice guys those are, Carolyn. I couldn't appreciate being introduced to them more because they're just great. They treated us like family. So, and we did we did a really cool little interview in their booth, and it came out great. You can find it on Instagram, and I can't even think of the company that filmed it now. What was it, Carolyn?
Can-A-Mare. C-A-N-A-Mare.
So if you go to Can-A-Mare on Instagram, you'll find a really neat little cool video that we did in their booth at iCast. So that was really cool. It was just, the whole thing was just a great experience. It was a bit overwhelming because it was so big, and we had so many of us ladies there. And we were so busy, So it was a little overwhelming, but like I said, everyone there were not just normal people off the street that are interested in fishing. It was all insiders from within the marine industry that have a history and have businesses and are business owners and entrepreneurs. And it's just a really interesting experience. I can't believe that I'd never been before. I will definitely be going again. And the connections you make are just priceless. Everybody's very welcoming and very interested to hear what each other has to do. And that type of networking in our industry is golden. I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
It sounds like a lot of manufacturers. Was it a lot of manufacturers?
Absolutely. Yeah. From your very biggest manufacturers, like Shimano and Penn and Huck, and I could keep going on and on and on, to your smallest new businesses coming out, new lure lines, new clothing lines. I mean, from your biggest people to your smallest new companies, you get a little bit of everything. They had some really neat seminars, instructional seminars for people. They had a great event at the Shimano booth called Women Making Waves, and gave out us some really cool little swag bags with some neat stuff in it. And it was just a really neat event. They were really supportive of women coming up in the industry, which of course we were kind of capitalizing on and wanted to show up there as a force, which we did. And it was just great. I mean, we walked out of there with so much promotional stuff and new things. I think Carolyn even scored her a pair of new shoes from Sperry, who is now broadening their shoe line out into the marine world as well. And the stuff looks awesome, guys. It won't be out till next year, but Carolyn's got herself a pair.
Hey, I tried the free shopping for you guys. They just didn't have them in stock.
I know. It didn't have my size, or else I'd have a new pair of Sperry's that won't come out till next year also. So, but yeah.
And you know what? Angela, I never even told Riscala about our potential TV gig.
Which is really cool. You want to talk about bold? Carolyn walked into the booth that has the Discovery Channel and Nat Geo and the Pursuit Channel, and she just starts talking to one of the guys, and next thing they know, they have us sitting down at a table talking about potentially doing a show with us, that's really exciting. We even went back the next day just to say hello and thank you for their time, and they sat us down at a table again, and we talked further about it. So that's really exciting.
Well, hopefully that'll come to pass. That'll be great exposure for you guys.
Yeah, between Carolyn and I, we pretty much kick down doors.
You know what? You don't even have to say knock. We kick them down, and I'll tell you, and I didn't even tell Riscala about our other good news. One of our sponsors, Real Captivating, is going to turn our Pink Ladies fishing team into a 501(c) charitable organization. So we'll be able to start collecting donations and then writing checks to girls that might be going through cancer, or families, or
awesome.
junior anglers, or Humane Society, whatever we want. We're going to start be able to really officially fundraise.
Congratulations. And that's great.
Absolutely exciting. On top of that, Carolyn, Real Captivating is also supporting us in creating our own tournament. So hopefully next year we'll have a Pink Ladies fishing tournament, and that will be extremely exciting. If we could get some of these sponsors to come in and work with us on the tournament, that would be so awesome. But everybody look out next year for a Pink Ladies women's fishing tournament, because we have a lot of cool things in the works.
That is really cool. Why are you keeping this from me, Carolyn?
I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little sleepy on a Sunday.
Well, that is, I'm humbled to be among you people. We'll have stars coming up.
Well, let me tell you what. It's the generosity again of Wayne from Real Captivating, and you've seen his generosity, Riscala. So he just wants to help us go out and succeed.
Amazing guy. I wish we had more people like that in the world. My God, could you imagine what it would be like, instead of having all these greedy people that are so worried about how they're going to make the next buck, to have people like that, more people like that in the world? I would venture to say there would not be homelessness. There would not be a lot of the heartache that we go through, because they care about their fellow people. It's just it's amazing to know people like that, to know that there are people like that, because there's a lot of people who are very successful, and the last thing on their mind is sharing any of that with anybody else. They seem to have the mindset of, well, I worked for it, it's mine, and and they have a right to it. I'm not arguing that, but it's nice when you hear about people like that. It really is a genuinely giving person. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Angelia, you probably don't know that Riscala needed a little bit of vinyl work done on one of his jet ski seats, so he took it over to Wayne's Speed Shop, and the guy sewed new seats, and Wayne just said, take them.
Yep. Made it look brand new. Brand new. They did an awesome job. And didn't want to take anything for it. Didn't want to accept any money. No, I'm just going to do this out of the kindness of my heart. See, that's the kind of people that we need more. We need more of that versus what we have today. But that's what I find around the fishing community. That's a kind of mindset that I find around the fishing community. Always giving back in some way, shape,
And you know what? We have to go back to Angela and her opening lobster season, because I saw the pictures.
Oh, I was going to wait till the next segment for that. I didn't know if we had a commercial break or
no,
not.
We're
but,
not. No, go ahead.
So yeah, anybody who's familiar with our lobster here in Florida, or not, what they do is they do what's called a mini season, and it's 2 days of basically your regular lobster season, but it's about a week or 10 days before the actual lobster season opens. And they used to do it on a Saturday and Sunday years ago. But what would happen is we would get such an influx of people down here in the Keys that we could barely handle it. It was a lot of people. I used to call it the Great Migration, because you could just watch the cars going down US 1 and barely moving for days. It was terrible. So now they do it on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday. And so, of course, as locals, we have all of our spots specced out, and we know where we're going to go ahead of time, and we've already seen the lobster stacked on it. And since last year was so weird with all of the COVID and everything, they really did not encourage anybody to come down and lobster, even though you could. They closed the boat ramps and the parks, and so it was they really discouraged the travel last year. So the lobster were stacked this year. I mean, we knew we were going to hit it good, but Wednesday morning was the very first morning of mini season for the 2 days. And the season starts at daybreak. When the sun crests the horizon, you are allowed to get in the water and start lobstering. So we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning after fishing the entire day before. And I'm talking the entire day before, dawn till dusk. And we were out there before daybreak, and it was an amazing sight. Anybody who knows about boating and marine, when you are at anchor in the dark, you have to have an anchor light on, which is just a single white light on a mast over the console of your boat. And we get out there in the dark, and we're in my boyfriend's son's little skiff, and make it easy to lobster and get up in the shallows. And we look across the water, and there were hundreds and hundreds of anchor lights. I mean, the boats were just everywhere, waiting for that sun to crest the horizon so we could all get in the water and start lobstering. But we hit a couple of our spots we thought would be pretty good first. And then one of us knew of a place where there was a little upside down old boat that had sunk a long, long, long time ago, a very small little boat, maybe 15 foot or something. And we had almost limited out. We'd done pretty well so far. And we're like, hey, you want to hit one more spot? And we all said yes. There was 3 of us on the boat, plus my puppy, of course, which, darn it, she couldn't get her limit. But we hit that spot, and it was like the treasure trove of giant lobster. We had more fun, and it was just amazing. And we weren't counting them as we were catching them. So we ended up with a little bit over our limit and threw back the smaller ones and ended up with a really nice haul of super large lobster. We were so thrilled. I am still eating lobster right now.
Oh, man. Oh, my
So
gosh.
I gave a lot away to friends that aren't able to go out there and do that, because it is a bit strenuous. If you're not a good free diver, it can be a little rough. But I gave a lot away, and I still have a refrigerator full that I'm eating at the speed of light. So
Yummy, yummy,
lobster
yummy.
season is on, guys. I think that the real season, and I apologize for not knowing the date, but they seem to change it a lot throughout the. It's either August 6th or August 8th. I'm not really sure which one, but the real season will open up, and anybody who loves to get in the water and free dive, it is just a blast. use a tickle stick and a net and kind of rush them out of the holes that they're in into your net. You cannot spear them or injure them in any way. You must bring them back to the shore alive. And we even got stopped on the way in and had a wildlife officer count and measure our lobster, which we were all legal, of course. But yeah, they're real sticklers about it. So everybody make sure that you've got your limits and you've got your measuring stick, which you legally have to have down there with you. And that's 6 per person per day. And it is an absolute blast. And you have delicious fresh lobster for days. So it's a win-win-win.
Mouth is watering.
So I can't wait for the real season to open. Yep, it's amazing.
Wow.
And I must add in that I had some friends in from out of town real quick. And later on in the day, after we had gotten up at 4 o'clock in the morning and lobstered all morning, I had some friends from out of town that had never really experienced snorkeling down here. And I'm always raving about our reefs because I love them so much.
Gorgeous.
We have 120 miles of North America's only living reef down here. And I took them out to a spot in Isla Morada called Hens and Chickens. And it is an amazing spot because it's kind of deep, but the coral structure there is absolutely phenomenal. It is out of this world. You will never see coral structure like that. I've never seen it anywhere else. And I've dove in the islands and in the Bahamas and Mexico and you name it, Central America. The coral structure in this particular spot is absolutely phenomenal. And I took one of my best girlfriends that had never experienced this before, and I took her by the hand because she was a bit intimidated. And I took her over about a 6-acre area over this Hens and Chickens and just snorkeled our butts off for hours. And she was just in shock and awe because it is so magnificent. And right before we were heading back to the boat, I start swimming really fast and dragging her along by the hand. There was a beautiful eagle ray, and those are the big black ones with the white spots all over them. He was all by himself. He probably had a 4-foot wingspan.
Wow.
And he just ever so magnificently and gracefully and majestically swam past us very, very slowly. And she is still raving to this day about what a life-changing experience it was. It's able to show people things like that. It just thrills the heck out of me. It makes me feel so good to give somebody that life-changing experience. By the way, her cute little British boyfriend also caught his first mahi on our boat the day before. And in that cute British accent, he's telling me how brilliant it was. So, yeah, to be able to share that with people that haven't experienced it before is a really, really satisfying experience. And it stays with you to know that you gave someone that life-changing experience and maybe hooked them on caring more about the water and understanding how special it is, because it really is special.
Man, that's thank you for sharing. That's pretty cool. And you're down there, down there in the Keys.
Great week.
The lighthouse. I remember times going by the lighthouse and seeing lobster everywhere around the lighthouse. That reef is it's something to behold. I don't think words can really properly describe it, as we are rapidly running out of time here. All right, guys, I'm rapidly running out. If you want to know more about Angelia, did you get your website up?
I did. Yay! FloridaSaltyCowgirl.com is up and running. I am working on my first new blog that should be up this week, and I have so much to talk about, so we'll be blogging regularly. Cool. You can also find me on Facebook at Florida Salty Cowgirl or on Instagram at Florida Salty Cowgirl. Cool. Message me if you're interested in a charter or coming down and snorkeling. I'd love to take you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate you calling in, sharing with us, and giving us a report about the ICAST and the lobster season. Oh, my. I want to go lobstering.
I know. Come on down, Miss Scott.
Oh, gosh. Carolyn, thank you for being co-host this morning. Carolyn with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, it's Carolyn at Atlas Trax. That's who you need to talk to. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. What's left of it here. We'll be talking to you soon. God bless.
You're listening to the Trim Radio Network. We cut the bull and serve the truth.